And we're back with another race from Simcast TV. We're here with NSRL, the first race of the Summer Sprint Car Series at Eldora Speedway. This will be in the 360 Sprint Cars. And things are going to work a little different tonight. Our normal broadcaster, Ryan Ayers, will not be able to make it, and Jeremy Rucker has decided to run the car. So in the booth tonight, you have myself, Anthony Miller, and the driver of the number 5 car, Thomas Vaness.
Yeah, we're looking to have quite a bit of fun tonight here at Eldora in the 360 Sprints. Anthony, looks like we've got 3 heats we're running tonight, and then we'll be running the A main shortly after. It's going to be a lot of fun. Had a chance to watch these drivers practice quite a bit. It's going to be pretty competitive. So running 6 cars each heat. We've got 3 heats for a total of 18 racers tonight.
Yes, sir. The top 12 in the A main will be lined up by passing points. I do believe it's just the top 12. I think the last 2 finishers in each heat will just start in their respective finishing positions.
Sounds like we're getting the heats lined up right now. First row's going to be inside. It's going to be Schaefer. Outside's Morrow. Second row inside Kelly. Outside is Stinson. Third row Watkins. And the outside is going to be Gossett.
Yes, sir. Watkins, as everyone knows, is a HOSR driver, and Cale Stinson is an Ohio native. He actually runs at Atomic Speedway in the 305s, I do believe.
So drivers are getting out on the track right now, everybody, to go through and get lined up for the heat. The first heat race will be an 8-lap heat race. So you had a chance to take a look at these guys, Anthony. What do you think? Who do you like this heat race in these 6 cars?
I'm a big fan of going with the boys from the team. I'm going to go ahead and pick Chris Watkins. He doesn't have quite as much time on the track as like Joshua Battles has been in here for a while, and he's got some laps in. Cale Stinson's always tough no matter what he's driving.
Yeah, I have to agree with you right there, Anthony. Watkins is a pretty tough driver. Anything he gets into is pretty quick. So it's going to be a fun heat race to watch. I think we'll also keep an eye on Stinson, the 105 on the outside in the second row. Looks like they're getting ready to run a pace lap around the track. We'll be getting here shortly, boys. Here we go.
Yes, sir. Coming by the flag stand for the first time. Next time by, they will be going green. Casey Gossett might have a car to win. I'm not too sure, though. We'll see. He's usually pretty fast.
All right, looks like we got the lineup set here. 16 on the inside, 13 on the outside, 8 on the inside, 105 on the outside, 19 on the inside, and 106 Gossett on the outside. And here we go with the green flag out of turn 4.
Yes, sir. Andrew Schaefer, also known as Forrest Lane, gets the whole shot on that, taking him down the backstretch right now as Chris Watkins and Casey Gossett kind of stay right where they're at. The track's a little tacky, so passing's gonna kind of be up to the drivers and how aggressive they want to be this early in the night. But it looks like we got somebody coming up here for 3rd place.
Yeah, it looks like the 16's pulling away, managing their heat race pretty well. I like the challenge in the back here. We've got a couple 2 and 3 wide racing fighting over 3rd place here.
Yes, sir. That'd be the 84 Cale Stinson looking to make more moves coming up here on Brant Morrow, he came in early and got a lot of laps in here tonight. Casey Gossett following suit right behind him. This time by bringing up the green and White, sorry, for halfway. First time in the booth. Don't criticize too much. Cale Stinson getting into it with Casey Gossett. Casey Gossett hitting the wall, coming out of 2, going upside down. We'll keep it green. No cautions in the heat race.
Anthony, my friend, sound like you've done this before. You've done a pretty good job out here. I like it. Having fun. I'd like to see Watkins come in running fourth and see if he can capture that transfer spot in the top 3.
Yes, sir. He's making some gains here kind of in the later on. He might have just wanted to take it slow in the start, let everybody kind of get single file, pick him off where he can, not push the issue too hard, doesn't want to take a chance of hurting the car any. White flag this time by. Chris went a little too high getting into 3 there up into the loose dirt. Not going to help him out any as Cale Stinson pushes the issue one more time. Gets a little loose. Chris Watkins going to go to the high side. He might get it done. I don't think there's enough drive coming out of 4. I think Cale's going to hold on to it. And that's going to be your finishing order with Andrew Schaefer, a.k.a. Forest Lane, finishing first, and Brent Morrow finishing second. Cale Stinson third, Chris fourth, TJ Kelly in fifth, and it would be the, what number is he now? 84, I think? Sorry, first time, not familiar with these cars. Cale Stinson, the Ohio native, not finishing the race. No, Cale finished. Who was that?
I think that might have been Gossett. A couple of numbers I had changed, so I'm a little confused here. But we're working on it, boys.
Yeah, Casey Gossett in the 47. Sorry for that, folks. First night here, gonna be kind of difficult. I think I might be staying with you the rest of this series. I'm not entirely sure. Jeremy Rucker wants to continue running these sprint cars as they are his favorite.
All right, pretty exciting first heat race. Some good driving, consistency moving on out there. Looks like we're getting ready to move into the second heat here shortly. Second heat lineups is going to be on the inside, Jeremy Rucker on the outside, on the 15, Dullard. Hammond on the inside, second row. Wallace on the outside, second row. Inside, Carl Blum. And bringing up outside row 3, Mr. Matthews.
This is going to be one of those tough heats as Jeremy Rucker, also a high octane member. But Michael Hammond is a wheel man. He ran our fun run we had in the pro late models at Volusia, and he was an absolute nightmare. I think he came all the way back from like 9th place after a bad heat race, and he actually went to the checkers, no issue at all. He went straight to the front.
You know what? I'm going to take a look at this heat. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I like Rucker just because I like his position, pulling the pole off the start. We saw a good jump from the 16 last heat race. But you know what? I'm going to go out on the edge here, and I'm going to call on Matthews, the outside row 3, to come up through the field to at least get into a transfer position.
As tacky as this track is, it's definitely hard to get around cars. You kind of got to pick your spots and choose. You saw last race, the guys that made the transfer spots kind of hung back at the start and just waited till they made sure they had a clean groove going and weren't putting themselves or other drivers in any danger. That 15 car of Mike Dollard looks sharp. He's probably one of my favorite cars out here tonight.
All right, here we go, boys. Looks like getting ready to go here out of 4. We'll be going green here shortly.
Yes, sir. They look kind of jumpy. Hopefully they'll tighten it up here and we'll get a really good heat race out of here. Leland Carbloom starting all the way back there in 5th. He's a pretty good driver too. Jeremy Rucker off to a quick start coming down to the line.
So you've got a pretty good run on the outside so far. Usually at Eldora, the inside is the fastest lane, but it's like the outside's holding up pretty good so far.
It's an Ohio thing. If you remember that late model race or not last week, the week before, it's an Ohio thing. We had me and Dewey all the way up there.
Here we go. Rucker's leading us out right now. Looks like he's starting to get a little pressure from behind.
Absolutely, as the number 15 of Mike Dullard and Michael Hammond in the 019 catch up to him real quick here in single file. It'll be interesting to kind of see what lines they take to try to get around him, or if they try to get in his head and play mental games with him. As you can see now, Michael Hammond going down into one. He's going to push the issue, taking over that second spot. Not quite going to clear the slider. He's going to be smart and back it off and not collect anybody in that issue. Not sure what happened to 5th and 6th. They kind of disappeared off the racetrack.
Yeah, I missed that too. It looked like they got into the wall coming out of turn 2. It's like the 54 car's trying to get back here. We got about 2 laps to go. Should be seeing the white flag next time by.
Yes, sir. Mike Dullard really starting to push the issue now. I'd look for him to get crazy and throw a desperate slider maybe within the last lap or 2. I'm not very familiar with his driving style. I don't know if he's conservative or if he's going to go for it as we come to the white flag. You see Michael Hammond diving it down into one. He's going to throw that slider. He will clear it. Oh, a little bit, pops the wheel up. Late race slider, and Michael Dullard, I believe, Michael Dullard comes back to 3rd, right at the line. That was an incredible finish for 3rd place there. I'm not sure if you were focusing on that.
Yeah, that was one heck of a heat race. That one was pretty fun to watch. Like to see Rucker pull out right away, but they were able to reel him in a little bit, make it for a little challenge. Definitely 3rd place is pretty exciting.
Yeah, that was a great race from start to finish. Kind of single file a little bit with the track being so tacky. You kind of got to expect it a little bit. It'll wear out more as the night goes on. More lines will come in. That slider by Michael Hammond couldn't have been more perfectly executed right there. He got in front of him, tail tank cleared. Just coming out of that corner, you want to keep all the drive you can. Sometimes you misjudge the distance between yourself and another person. You and me learned that at Williams Grove in the 410s and the NSRL mini series, if you remember that or not.
Yeah, definitely.
The next heat on the track will be the number 2 is Scott Carboom starting pole. James Nunn starting outside of him. Joshua Battles in 3rd. Andrew Wiedemann in 4th. I think Wiedemann's a scratch. Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure he's not here. If he is, that moved 27 to Du Lorzell up into 4th position, and that would put Chris Lawson in 5th. Of course, James Nunn, the admin of this league and an HOSR member. HOSR is the parent team of the NSRL racing team. It's kind of just a banner we run under. The 27 of Du Lorzell, he's kind of like a satellite member, if you want to call it. He shows up to all of our races. He supports us week in and week out. He'll be someone to deal with here, especially if he starts from 5th or even 4th, even 5th. He'll have a decent chance at making it up through there. I haven't watched Scott Carboom race much. Joshua Battles, I've seen him race every now and then. Chris Lawson, the same. I'm getting confirmation that Andrew Wiedemann will not be in this heat, so that'll move Du Lorzell up to 4th and Chris Lawson up to 5th.
As we get ready to go here, we get a little set up. Just want to give a quick plug out. Let all your racers, your friends, your buddies know. Come join us with NSRL and the Wounded Warrior Project, supporting them on Memorial Day. We are going to be having the Memorial Day Gone But Not Forgotten 100 at Eldora. So come out and join us. Go to the NSRL team page, get registered, and find information there. Looking to do a pretty good race for a 100-lap feature, and hopefully raise plenty of money for the Wounded Warrior Project so we can get donations made to them.
Absolutely. I believe there's like a $5 minimum donation, and everything that gets donated goes to them. I think some team members have put up money to go straight to them. I'm not sure if team members put up money for a purse or not. That might be something that's happening. I think we're keeping that on the low key.
Yeah, I know for sure we're going to have at least a $100 minimum purse. How we're going to distribute it, we're still in discussions with that. But we do know that 100% of the donations will be going to the Wounded Warrior Project. So at a minimum, the $5 entry fees, and if anybody else wants to donate, we'll definitely be sending all that over to the Wounded Warrior Project.
All right, here we go. Coming down the back stretch, we will go green this time, coming out of 4. Of course, James Nunn starting outside front row. Dewey Roselle starting in 5th after all. Late rolling start here. Who's going to set it off?
Looks like we picked up somebody. Did we lose the scratch, get back in, or?
I don't believe that's even the scratch's number. I think they might have just thrown a filler in there, but I'm not absolutely sure. It looks like we got a really late start on that. I'm not sure what's happening.
'75 was able to jump out to a big lead out of turn 4 when we hit the green. Looks like he's having pretty good success so far. He's up in the lead by 2.5, almost 3 seconds now. Looks like we're going to be looking at a battle for 3rd and 4th here.
Absolutely. Scott Carbloom there. Dewey Roselle is there. The number 8 machine I'm not familiar with. That's the person filling in the scratch. Then you got the 114 of Jack Watts there on the bottom. Is the number 8 of Chris Lawson is who that is, running the high side. Looking like he's getting ready to run train as the 114 gets a little loose. We get 3 wide, all 2 wide. Dewey Roselle collected up in it. They're going to keep it going though.
As we're here reaching the halfway point, looks like we're getting some pretty good side-by-side racing. They're getting bunched up back there for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place.
Absolutely. Chris Lawson just messed it up a little bit, leaving Jack Watts to take it out on a little bit. Scott Carbloom, sorry, taking advantage of that on the high side as they come together a little bit and gets him even more loose as Dewey Roselle kind of sneaks behind there last second.
Looks like it's going to be a battle for the last transfer spot there in 3rd place between the 02 and the
27
the
of
numbers.
Dewey
It's the
Roselle.
27.
Absolutely. He's an Ohio native. He's from Chillicothe down there. He's not one to push the issue. He's a real respected driver. He'll probably just sit there, kind of wait for a second to see what Scott's going to do. He's not about to tear up anybody's equipment. If he sees a shot, he'll go. And as I'll say that, Scott Carbloom pushes up a little bit. And that's the finishing order right there. As a 7 win, the 114 of Jack Watts takes 2nd, 02 Scott Carbloom taking 3rd, 27 of Dewey Roselle 4th, the 8 of Chris Lawson in 2nd. And the number 11 of Joshua Battles picking up the last spot there.
That'll wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen, right now for the 3rd heat. We're just getting the lineups figured out and the results for the 3rd heat as well. We should be moving over to the A main here shortly. Just want to give a quick plug out to Simcast TV, who is broadcasting this race and broadcasts all the NSRL races in the Summer Series.
Absolutely. They are for hire. We haven't really, nothing like that's ever been said as far as we know by the other announcers. You can contact James, or you can contact the HOSR page or the NSRL page and get a hold of us, and we can make something happen. There is a fee. This stuff's not free, and it's time away from our families, and we do enjoy doing it though. It's not that big of an issue. Get a hold of us, and we'll figure something out.
Yeah, definitely. Just want to give a big shout out right now to Tom Jenks, who's running our cameras tonight, doing a pretty good job here on the live broadcast, and Anthony Miller. And on behalf of myself, everybody, thanks for coming out. We're going to a short break here in a little bit here while we get the A main scheduled and set up to go racing.
Absolutely. I think while we go on this break, I'm actually going to go turn some laps and see what the track was like for these racers.
Yeah, Anthony, go ahead. Jump in your fire suit, run down there as quick as you can, buddy. Let me know how it goes. Looking forward to watching you.
The track's not very worn from what I'm noticing. The bottom's a little slick. You can kind of see some wear growing in there, but it doesn't look like it's that big of an issue. You can definitely see the high side coming in a little bit more. This is a little difficult to do one-handed, but I'm trying to do my best here for you. It's a pretty even groove, and kind of worries me a little bit that maybe some of these drivers are too focused in practice on setting their cars up for the bottom and not allowing themselves to venture out as far on the racetrack. As I myself have earned the nickname of High Side Hustler for a reason. There's no better place than to be right next to the wall. You don't have to worry about anybody coming around you on the corners. But this track is very wide. The bottoms, there's still a little bit there. You can kind of feel it. You don't want to get too far down there because of the slick. You'll see myself getting too far sideways right there. But it's not awful. Maybe in the future we'll see some more racing. Right here is really loose. But the track's widening out very nice. The drivers seem to be comfortable on it. They're not taking unaggressive shots. They're comfortable in their car. They know what their car can do, and it should provide some good racing.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we're riding around. These cars do pick up quite a bit of mud, as you can see from the camera view we've been showing. We got some mud on the visor of Anthony Miller's little practice run down there.
I appear to have gotten a black flag in the process of pulling out of pit lane because I don't agree with the speed limit on dirt.
I'll get it cleared for you, buddy. You just keep running nuts around the track.
As you can see, just from the few laps I've been turning in here along with fellow driver TJ Kelly, the high side in 3 and 4 has moved up significantly. Maybe these drivers will get adventurous, push it up a little farther in 1 and 2, and see what we can have happen here. I'd like to see Eldora on the high side. That's where it's at. The middle still seems to be the fastest for me, but my car is very, very dry right now. It's set up for qualifying. I got a low fuel load. My wing angle's all the way down. And that's just set up for top speed. It's not really set up for handling at the moment. It's just kind of a wing it and go thing. But this track is very, very nice, and I cannot wait to see these drivers come out for the A-main. Alrighty, I'm going to park it here, and I'm going to head back up to the booth and get back with you, get this lineup set up, and then we'll see what we can get going for the feature.
Getting in now.
and Moyer side by side as they work out of turn number 2. Billy Moyer shown away. Pierce second, 3 wide battle.
If iRacing doesn't call it, you're done. I'll go ahead and read the lineup to you guys. Starting on the pole, it'll be the 75 of James Dunn. Outside of him, it'll be Andrew Wiedemann in the 04. Then it'll be Andrew Schaefer in the 16, followed by Jeremy Rucker in the 12, followed by the 019, I believe it is, of Michael Hammond. Sorry if I'm messing these numbers up. They changed them on me. Outside of row 3 will be Brent Morrow in the 13. And inside of row 4 will be the 105 of I cannot read that. Outside of row 4 will be the 54 of Tim Matthews, followed by Mike Dollar and Chris Watkins. Then Dewey Roselle out of Columbus, Ohio, not Chillicothe, followed by the 2 of Scott Carter. After Scott Carbloom, it'll read Chris Lawson, Quinn Wallace, TJ Kelly, Casey Gossett, Leland Carbloom, Joshua Battles, Thomas Vanessa's a broadcaster right here with me, so that's the end of the lineup.
Now here we go, boys. We got them out on the track, getting our pace laps behind the, looks like a Ford pace truck tonight. We're going to keep it on. We're going to see some full course cautions in these where we didn't have the cautions on in the heat races. So we're going to have a lot of fun tonight. Should be some good side-by-side racing, some aggressive driving, but clean driving.
And we are green out of 4.
Here we go. Looks like the 75 car, James Dunn, started on the pole, was able to get a good jump off up turn 4 at the green flag, crossing start-finish fight in the lead. So you have pretty good action back in the field. A lot of double wide, 2 wide, high, low racing. See what happens here once the
James Dunn up into the wall in turn 1. He's going to fall back to probably 9th place by the time he gets it straightened back out. Correction, he caught it back up. He got it straightened out in 6th. Looks like Michael Hammond got a little loose coming out of 4 there. Got into Brent Morrow a little bit, got them loose, and we got a crash in 3.
Looks like we have
all
caution
the way
on
down
Speedway.
the backstretch. Forest Lane collected up in that, as well as Dewey Lorzell. Looks like Mike Dollard got a little bit of it. We got some drivers going to take advantage of the one quick repair they have, and they have to be back out before the green flag flies. If they do not meet that clock, then they are not going to make it. Quinn Wallace got his car repaired. Dewey Lorzell is in right behind Chris Watkins, as well as the 15 of Mike Dollar, the 75 of James Dunn, and the 54 of Tim Matthews. So James Dunn making it back on the track, as well as Mike Dullard. Tim Matthews still sitting in the pits, as well as Chris Watkins. That could be a disaster for these guys tonight, as they both had decent cars in their heat race. I believe Chris Watkins is stuck in the pits with a 2-minute tow repair. He will do not believe he will be able to make it back on the track in time. As the 87 of Andrew Schaefer taking him to the green flag coming out of 4.
And here we go back, green flag racing, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like we have Anthony Schaefer starting off first, Rucker in second. And see that Walls in third out of California.
Absolutely, they're slicing and dicing back here 2 wide. I haven't really seen 3 wide since the restart, and that's probably for the better at this point in time. Let the drivers settle down in their cars. They got a full fuel load. As we are looking at the 87, I am looking at the 87 of Casey Gossett coming up on the 114, and I believe the car of Cale Stinson. That would be the battle for fourth. 4th, 5th, 6th are right there. 7th, 8th, and 9th follow them right in tow.
Yeah, pretty tight field considering from first to last place we're running about 4-second spread.
Absolutely. The leaders have kind of gone on to a zip code of their own. You got Andrew Schaefer leading, followed by Jeremy Rucker, followed by, I believe that is the 1015 machine or 019 machine of Michael Hammond. Both of those drivers working the bottom trying to get around Forrest Lane or Andrew Schaefer, as you may know him, who's running the middle to the high side of the track, which I do not believe has come in at this point in time yet. Later on down the road, I believe that will be the line to be at as these drivers keep burning up the bottom line.
Car to watch right now. I was
Jeremy-
just going to say he was getting pretty high, but it was coming up making a charge as a 5 of Chris Lawson. Was making some progress, got pushed up the track a little bit, got a little loose, but looks like he's gathered it back up and getting back in line.
Absolutely. Jeremy Rucker led that time by with Andrew Schaefer in second, and we got Michael Hammond making a dive move, not going to clear it though. They're almost 3 wide for first place. These drivers getting antsy. They want to keep moving and getting out of the way from the cars coming behind them. They don't want to take that chance of them catching them, but if they keep battling like this, they're just going to slow themselves down. Caution is out for a car up in the wall getting into 3.
Yeah, I'm going to go back and take a look at that and see what we did.
Things were just starting to heat up as the car of Lee Carglum, Joshua Battles, Mike Dullard, and Quinn Wallace were all battling back there in a 4-car pack.
Come back green here shortly, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like we're going to have Jeremy Rucker followed by Andrew Schaefer, Michael Hammond, Stinson, Gosell, sorry about that, and TJ Kelly running up top 6. My apologies there, Mr. Gossett. Got your name wrong. We'll get better at it.
The run he is having right now is fantastic considered his showing in the heat race. He was there, but he didn't press the issue that much. And we're not even halfway through. We are over halfway through, actually, in this heat race, and he's already up there in 5th.
As we come back to green flag now, we got 15 laps to go. Leader got a pretty good start there with Jeremy Rucker, Andrew Schaefer takes over the first spot with Jeremy Rucker on the outside.
Absolutely. Cale Stinson bobbled it a little bit as Casey Gossett just gave him the right front there coming out of 4. A little bit of rubbings, a little bit of racing. It's all good. Both drivers came through it clean as Cale Stinson kind of cut the nose off of the car behind him, causing him to bobble. Jeremy Rucker still looking to overtake that first place officially. He led about 1 to 2 laps earlier, but Forrest Lane came right back around him on the high side. Lee Carblum just made a move on Chris Lawson way back in the pack on the high side. The high side looks like it's starting to come in, and it's looking to start to be the more favorable line as these drivers burned up the bottom way too early in the race. As Mike Dollard now looking to get around Chris Lawson.
It looks like we've got a pretty decent battle shaping up between Walls and Lorenzo for the 67 spot. Could a pretty good 3-car battle starting to come up there for the lead. It's been going on the whole race, pretty evenly matched. It's come by the flag this time around. They'll have 6 laps to go.
And it just got Forrest Lane over Jeremy Rucker by a little bit. I think those drivers finally calmed down. Jeremy Rucker and Michael Hammond quit battling each other and kind of decided we're going to go after this leader. We'll pass him, then we'll handle business.
Yeah, it looks like Rucker making a move on the bottom, trying to get him with a little slide job.
Absolutely. Rucker had the lead that time by at the flag. Casey Gossett moved up to the high side, and it did not work for him. As you can see him still up there trying to make it work back there in fourth, and it's not happening for him. He must have missed the setup, as Forrest Lane just drives right around Jeremy Rucker coming out of 4 right there for the lead. Dewey Lorenzo all the way back up to 7th after having to go to the pits to get a quick repair as the caution comes out one more time. I hate to see it end this way, but ladies and gentlemen, I do believe this race is going to end under caution, and they will pace it out for the rest of it. As of right now, your finishing order would be Andrew Schaefer, followed by Jeremy Rucker, followed by Michael Hammond, followed by
Looks like Casey
Gossett, then Cale
coming up in
Stinson
fifth.
out of Ohio.
Jack Walls in 6th, Dwayne Lozelle in 7th, TJ Kelly coming in a strong 8th, as long as Brandon Morrow, and Leland Carlbloom in 10th place.
Yeah, Carlbloom out of South Dakota, him, or it might be North Dakota, I can't really remember. It's been a while since I talked to those guys. Great group of guys. I used to race with them on R Factor. Right after Leland Carlbloom will come James Nunn, Chris Lawson, Quinn Wallace, Michael Dullard, Joshua Battles, Chris Watkins, who never really made it back onto the track after that terrible start. Scott Carlbloom, Tim Matthews running out the field. Take this opportunity one more time while they're pacing around to take the checkered flag to plug in the sponsors that we haven't really mentioned yet, and that would be High Octane Sim Racing for putting on a show. We're just now venturing into the sprint cars full time. This series is in the works. I hope you all enjoyed the racing that happened. Any advice, whatnot, it's all taken. If you want to come out and race with us, do not be afraid to send in the application. We accept any and all drivers. Then Root Hunt Kennels, Dodge Boys Fabrication, and Aero Wraps, which is myself. I hate plugging myself, that's why I haven't said anything. In just a minute or two here, we're going to go ahead and get your top 3, maybe top 4 in here, just because I want to hear how the battle went.
Yeah, in the meantime, just wanted to touch base again one more time. Keep in mind, we will be putting on a 100-lap feature on Memorial Day. It is going to be the NSRL Memorial Day Gone But Not Forgotten 100 here at Eldora in the super late model. So we'd like to see everybody come out. There is going to be a $5 donation minimum required for each driver, with proceeds going to the Wounded Warrior Project. In addition to that, we will also have minimum $100 purse for the racers here on the track during that race for money to go to the winners, and a few other ways how we get it figured out to who they get paid. But if you are interested in watching that, we are going to broadcast that on simcast.tv as well with our cameraman, Mr. Tom Jenks. In addition,
I'll be right back. I'm going to go round up the top 4.
once again, if you're interested in the Memorial Day Gone But Not Forgotten 100, please go to the NSRL team page on iRacing or Facebook and look for more information. We'd like to get you registered. If you have any questions, just contact one of the admins on those sites. Again, thank you again for Mr. Tom Jenks running the cameras up in the broadcast booth for simcast.tv. And right now, Anthony's running down to pit road to get a hold of all the finishers, top finishers, see if we can't get an interview in.
Absolutely. I got the winner here, Andrew Schaefer, a.k.a. Forrest Lane. What do you think about that race? You there, Forrest?
Yeah, I'm here. Oh, I'm in the wrong one. The right one. Oh, all right, cool.
What'd you think about that, man?
What's that?
What'd you think about that race? Were you getting worried whenever you saw Rucker and Michael coming on to you on the bottom there?
No, man. I was pretty confident with the setup, man. I felt like if I could just be as wide as I could in the middle of the track, nobody would get around me. But I don't know. It was pretty nerve-wracking. Me and Rucker were having a good battle there.
Yeah, you were one of the 2 drivers that made the high side anything above the middle line work, and it was kind of fun to watch Rucker try to work the bottom around you. You guys trading spots lap after lap. I've been in that position before, and that was nerve-wracking for me. I know I held my breath the last 5 laps the last time I won a race.
Yeah, that's my first win actually in quite a while, quite some time actually, probably 4 or 5 weeks probably.
I'm glad it happened here, man.
Yeah. I was kind of hesitant on racing tonight because I wasn't sure how it was gonna go. I was like, well, all right, let's do it. Let's just get everybody together and go run. Let's have fun. It turned out to be a good time, and I wasn't sure how fast I'd be. I wasn't really sure, but we gave it a go.
All right, man, we're glad you stopped by. I know you got something to plug now. You want to mention your graphics business?
I ain't worried about all that, man.
All right, that's what I figured. Thanks for coming out, bud. It was actually nice watching your race for once. You're like a mysterious badger. I never get to see your race. I always just hear about it.
Sometimes, man, I have good races. Sometimes I don't.
All right, man. I'll send you back up there with your friends, and we're going to go ahead and pull down Rucker.
All right, you gentlemen have a good evening. Thanks for putting it on. Had a good time.
Thanks for showing up, buddy. Mr. Rucker, the announcer skipper, how was your race?
Oh, it was good. I was happy to be out of the booth and on the racetrack.
I bet
Nice change of pace.
We blamed you for every fault we had. How did your car feel tonight?
Felt like it got loose a little bit in the middle of the race, and I started moving my wing angle up. But that would actually make it more loose, but the car handled a little bit better than I was able to reel in force a little bit, but just didn't have enough at the end there.
Right, we were talking about it. Everybody was running the bottom, and it was wearing out way fast. It was definitely the faster line right at the start of the race, but as the race went on, it appeared that the high side was the place to be.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. I mean, I think I was able to stay somewhat even with force, just didn't have enough laps to. Probably needed to move up to the high side a little bit quicker and throw a slider, just didn't get it done.
It was great watching you guys trade place lap after lap. Do you have anybody you'd like to thank for this?
High Octane Sim Racing, Simcast TV, Mr. Tom Jenks on the cameras for doing a good job as always. Root Hunt Kennels, and then Under the Influence Race Designs.
Alrighty, Jamie. Well, thank you for coming out, man. You're an admin, so I'll let you move yourself, and I'm going to grab Mr. Michael Hammond.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Well, Michael Hammond is not here, and neither is Casey Gossett. So I think that's going to wrap up our broadcast for the evening. We might get a hold of them personally and see if they have a statement they'd like to say or if they have something they'd rather not say. Thanks everybody for coming out and watching. Next week, if I am in the broadcast booth, I will tell you right now, we are going to have live shout outs during the race. Go ahead and, if you don't have a YouTube account, make it. Follow us, subscribe, Simcast TV on YouTube, and we will do live shout outs during the race if you comment in the chat box.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks again, NSRL and High Octane Sim Racing, for putting this race on. It was a blast to call. Very fun to watch. A lot of good side-by-side racing. Once again, go to simcast.tv. Make sure you subscribe and like the YouTube channel. You can follow any of the races we do. If there's anybody out there interested in having their race broadcasts, please get a hold of one of the admins, either at the NSRL or at simcast.tv. And that should do it. Signing off, I'm Tom Vanas for Anthony Miller. Tom Jenks behind the cameras. Appreciate it, boys. Great work, and looking forward to next week.